Alright, hey guys, I'm CCG back in the video. With this video, we're bringing some Chimera combos. So before I get started, if you guys want to see the deck profile for the deck that I'm going to be using for these combos, it's going to be in the top right corner. And let's get started. So this is a one card combo using Mirror Swordsman. Mirror Swordsman is amazing. And you can even do this by just having Kodo, because Kodo can search out Mirror Swordsman. But let's get started. So we're going to use Mirror Swordsman here in order to tribute itself, special out the Berfomet. So Berfomet's amazing because it gets you 2 searches. Then we can use Chimera Fusion, go into Chimera. Here we go into Chimera the Phantom Beast King. So this one will actually let us make our opponent discard at the end of our turn. And then we're going to activate our other cards in the grave here in order to special summon out the Mirror Swordsman, search out the Kodo. We're going to add ourselves the Chimera Fusion back to our hand. So here, this is the end board that we end up with. And then you saw during the end phase, we were actually able to discard the Mirror Sword Knight from our opponent. Then here, I'm just going to make my opponent activate something, just so you could see here. I'm going to summon out my Berfomet here. Use Berfomet's effect in order to search out 2 cards. Use Chimera Fusion, Fusion Summon into the Guardian Chimera. So here I wasn't able to use Guardian Chimera's effect because there weren't enough monsters on my opponent's side of the field. But if I was, then I'd be able to destroy 2 cards on the field and then get an extra draw out of it. So here I'm special summoning all my monsters. Use my Yugioh, the King of Mythical Claws here in order to search out another Chimera Fusion. And their main form of interaction was the Guardian Chimera during our opponent's turn to pop 2 cards on their side of the field and then get a draw out. But let's go to the next combo. Alright guys, this is another 1 card combo using Branded Fusion. So here we're going to use Branded Fusion to go into the main combo line that we did for the last combo that I showed you. So here we're going to activate Yugioh, get ourselves the Kodo. So that's how we're able to just use the Kodo, go straight into the main combo here, go into the Mirror Sword Knight. So it's pretty cool that you can use Branded Fusion in that way where you're actually able to synergize with the deck so well. And yeah, just continue the play from what I did before. But now of course I have the Rim here, which is pretty nice to have, and you're going to see how that's going to be able to play in a combo and another combo that I'm going to show you guys here. And now we're going to go into the Berfomet, search 2 cards out, and yeah, from here during our opponent's turn, we're going to let him play it out. Use the Mirror Sword Knight. So this is what I wanted to just show you, that Mirror Sword Knight is pretty amazing, just because as long as you have a Chimera, the flying mythical beast, on the field, you can use Mirror Sword Knight in the grave in order to negate a monster effect, which is amazing. It's just a built-in monster effect negate. Then we're going to use it here. You can decide to go into whatever card you want to, but here I decided for Magnum the Reliever here, and then during our opponent's turn we can actually use Magnum the Reliever in order to banish a Poly Spell or Trap and then pop a card on the field. So we're going to do that, and yeah, it's just a pretty simple line. Again, a 1 card combo that gives you a bit of a different output here, and this deck is just really flexible. You can do quite a different lines, quite a bit of different things depending on what fusion monster you might need for the exact situation you're in. But let's go to the next combo. Okay guys, so this is a 2 card combo using Yugioh, the King of Mythical Claws, and Fright for Patchwork. So here we're gonna normal summon Yugioh, the King of Mythical Claws, get ourselves a Chimera Fusion, use Fright for Patchwork, get ourselves an Inject Chain, and now we can actually fusion summon using Edge and Chain, and that'll actually set us up for next turn here with the Fright for Patchwork. And then of course we can search out the Kodo. During our opponent's turn we're going to be able to go into make them discard a card. And you can see Kodo here, it's just the deck's really good at just searching out your 1 card lines. So it's amazing at that. Here we're going to use Polymerization, just go into Magnum the Reliever. And that's so you could draw a card. And yeah, you could definitely have gone into something else if you chose to. But now I can go into Mirror Swords Knight during my opponent's turn and then just do the play that I did previously, but now you're actually able to do it during their turn. And here, I'm going to go into my Guardian Chimera. Get out the Kodo. And I was able to draw 2 cards, pop 1 card on the field because I used 2 cards from my hand and 1 card in the field. Use Magnum Reliever, just destroy a card there. But you can see it's a 2 card combo that ended up with a pretty beefy hand here for our next turn. And we actually have Magnum Reliever as a form of interaction. We have Guardian Chimera, and we had the Mirror Swords Knight in our grave as a monster effect negate. And of course, if we had Cornfield Kodo in the grave, then this would be a great way of protecting your monsters. But let's go to the next combo that I have to show you. Okay guys, so this is the final combo that I want to show you. This is using Branded Fusion and 2 random cards to discard. So we're going to activate Branded Fusion, do the same line as we did before. Send out the Yugioh, use Yugioh to get the Kodo. Use Kodo here in order to get their Sword Knight. Normal summon the Sword Knight, then tribute it, go into Berfomet. use Baphomet's effect, search out the Chimera Fusion. So the thing we change here is that we're going to get the Springen's Kit because it's actually searchable through Baphomet. Then we can actually use Springen's Kit here in order to get branded in white. Then we can use Chimera Fusion, go into the Chimera the King of Phantom Beast. We can add back the Chimera Fusion to our hand because that card is insane. Use branded in white here in order to go into the Lebellion. And then we can go into our Mirror Jade. And of course here, so the reason you want to activate the Mirror Jade's effect is just that you're going to send the Brigand to the grave. And you'll see why we want to do that, but then we're going to negate it with Rinbrim. And then during the end phase here, we're actually going to be able to use this, search out the Mercurial. And this card, as I said in the deck profile, is a hand trap for the deck, and of course it resolves here. Chimera the King of Phantom Beast effects resolves, which makes him discard, but Mercurial. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion monster, Dimensions Fallen Valves. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face up to field to the grave, negate that effect. And then during our opponent's turn, we can actually use Mirror Sword Knight here in order to tribute it, go into Baphomet, search out 2 cards, and of course we'd be able to extend from here depending on what our opponent does. Here we have Rinbrim as a form of negate, we have Mirror Jade in case they get rid of it, it's going to be annoying for them to have to deal with that. We have Chimera Fusion in order to fusion summon during your opponent's turn. You decide what you want to go into depending on the situation. Maybe you want to go into the Guardian Chimera, that's up to you. If you do, you get 2 pops and a draw. And then we have Tri-Brigade Mercury here as a hand trap that it's going to be very difficult for your opponent to deal with. But I hope you guys enjoyed the combos. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.